Two more people speaking out against Corey Goode.
It's just my opinion.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to Sway. Of course, you know who I am. I am Sway, and as always, I got my trusty Coke, my trusty smokes. And do not forget to hit subscribe. Hit the little bell for the notifications to be notified of every time I post a video. And don't forget to make a comment, hit the thumbs up, whatever. Alright? First of all, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyful Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, whatever you're watching this video. Alright, so, where can I start? Where can I really start all of this? Alright, so, two more people spoke out against Corey Goode, and that would be Jordan Sather, as well as Laura Eisenhower. I was gonna wait till after Christmas to say something about it. There we go. Let me fix my hat. I was gonna wait till after Christmas to say something about it, but I think it is important to cover it as soon as possible. As far as Jordan Sather is concerned, I've said it before in another video, I have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more understanding for him. And that is because, he was he's a young kid. He's a young kid, young and foolish, young and naive. And, he did the right thing by not signing the contract. He separated himself. He disassociated himself from Corey Goode and David Wilcock. The only thing that I have to say about him in our reality is that whether he realizes it or not, he's hurt a lot of people in this whole during these times that he was close with Corey Goode. I would have loved to have heard his opinion, his thoughts on the Doxgate, on the accusations that came up against him when certain individuals on audio and on video, and I'm not talking about C.W. Chanter or anybody. No, I'm talking about like the Emery Smiths and people like that. When the accusations came about that Jordan Sather himself was part of Doxgate, that he was responsible for doxing a lot of people. I would have loved to have heard his thoughts on it, the fact that there's proof, there's screenshots that Jordan Sather I believe it was on his Twitter, where he screenshotted somebody's address. I think it was Joe from the Carolinas, and I could be wrong. But he on the person that the screenshot was on, but it was a screenshot of somebody's full name and address, and he retweeted it. Whether he realized it or not, in that aspect, he did dox somebody. I never seen any apologies from him on his part of that. I never seen or heard him address it. Not even just with him being on that channel, talking about experiences. Also, you have to realize that during his whole time with the issues with Jimmy Church and other things, whether he realizes it or not, whether it was directly or indirectly, he's hurt a lot of people. He's hurt a lot of people, especially when his followers went on the attack. When his followers went on the attack on innocent people, attacking innocent people, just the same with Corey Goode's followers, the way they go on the attack, whether they were directed to do so or not. It is the fact that I've never seen a tweet, a video, a Facebook post, anything where he would address any of that and apologize to anybody that was affected. So I would have loved to have heard him apologize for any of that, regardless of, he was young and naive type stuff or whatever. He needed, and I've said this in an earlier video, he needs to apologize for his part in hurting people. And, again, whether he directly or indirectly hurt innocent people or people that were just speaking out against Corey Goode or what have you, he's hurt a lot of people. And he needed to apologize to that. He needs to man up, apologize for all of that. As far, and I always say this, everybody has a story, everybody has their theories, everybody has their thoughts on their opinions on ufology and things like that. So I don't have an issue with Jordan Sather talking about Q. I don't have an issue with, whether or not I agree that Q's legit or not, I don't care. That's what he thinks. That's his opinion. That's what he believed to be fact. And that goes for anybody dealing with ufology and this, that, and the other. I don't care. That was his thing, where there was Q. What was it that he was telling people? There's some kind of bleach. That apparently is safe to drink or safe to take or whatever. I think that's his MO. That's what he's selling, right? I might have an issue with that, but I don't know enough about it. So I don't know enough about that product to make a comment on whether I think he's doing wrong by suggesting people drink that. Because does he really drink it? I don't know. I'm not there. So I'm not going to make any comments on all of that. On his involvement with Q stuff and promoting Q. I really don't care about that. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody has their thoughts, whatever. What's really concerning to me is the fact that, as I was saying earlier, whether it was directly or indirectly, he went in and he hurt a lot of people. Like I said, directly or indirectly, whether he himself did something or one of his followers or whatever, he was responsible for a lot of innocent people getting hurt. So, and the fact that he did not apologize for that, the only thing that I heard that came out of his mouth was the whole "I was young and foolish" or "I was young and naive" type thing. I don't give. Yes, I'm compassionate and understanding about that, but that is not a fucking excuse. That is not an excuse. He was still an adult. Regardless if he was young and naive, whatever, he was still an adult. He was responsible for his own actions, and he needs to apologize for his role and a lot of people that were hurt, whether it was directly or indirectly. What else can I say? As far as Jordan Sather is concerned, I'm glad that he realized that Corey Goode is, business-wise, and Corey Goode and David Wilcock, business-wise, they're just full of shit. I'm happy about that. But I would have loved to have heard him apologize for his role in it. I don't really know all that much about Jordan Sather. I wasn't a follower of Jordan Sather. I wasn't paying too much attention. I just know kind of the key points of certain things. So that's all I'm going to mention. That's all I'm going to talk about. The next person to be interviewed was Laura Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter, I believe. So here's the interesting thing about Laura Eisenhower. I have a lot of respect for her. I do. I have a lot of respect for her. I mean, the fact, like I said, everybody has their opinions. Everybody has their belief. Everybody has their thoughts on a lot of things. She has her claim, you know, of being recruited for an off-world Mars thing. Is it true? I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna go. This isn't about her story. This is about any involvement that she had within Corey Goode. I'm glad that she cleared things out, saying that she was always independent, that she wasn't even in the inner circle for that. In all reality, I'm glad that she cleared that out. The only problem that I had with her testimony is the fact that she still believes that Corey Goode was involved with the MyLabs. I think it's been proven more often than not. It's been proved that Corey Goode lied about that as well. If anybody remembers, there was a woman who called Corey Goode out, saying, "Hey, you're a lying sack of shit. You were never taken during the school day. What have you? Blah blah blah." And then Corey Goode says, "Oh, I don't know who she is. I don't know what she's talking about." And then she shows a picture of her friend who went to school with Corey Goode. They're in the yearbook together. So who else would know whether or not Corey Goode was taken for the MyLabs? And here's the bullshit of it all. A lot of people will say, "Well, that was on a different timeline because of the 20 and backs." No, even if the 320 and backs were real on Corey Goode, you have to understand that was way after MyLabs. That was way after MyLabs. Okay, as far as my understanding from the 20 and backs are concerned, is that when they bring you back to the point of like 10-20 minutes before you started that 20 and back, as well as take away your memory. So if the 20 and backs were correct, and obviously I don't believe that they are, I don't believe, because it's just a bunch of bullshit, for Corey Goode to say it. I'm gonna, let's be real, let's be honest. Even if they were, that was way after the fact of the MyLab stuff. So they don't overlap each other. The MyLabs and the 20 and backs, they would not overlap each other. So the fact that 20 backs, obviously, they're bullshit anyway. That's a bullshit story for Corey Goode to say that that's something that he stole from somebody else. But the fact that Laura Eisenhower still believes Corey Goode went through the MyLab stuff, to me that was very sad. That's very sad that she would believe that. Yes, there are many people that have gone through a MyLab situation. There are many people that suffer from PTSD and from something like that. But Corey Goode is not one of them. He's lied about everything. So the fact that Laura Eisenhower still has that little bit of hope for Corey Goode, because he went through MyLabs, is very sad, because he has never gone through the MyLabs. I think it's been proven more times than I can count that he never went through MyLabs. It's just very sad. It's very sad that she still believes that he went through that. And I don't know. Laura, I'm sorry, but you have to get past that. You have to get through that, because he never went through it. Corey Goode never went through the MyLabs. It's that simple. Now, why in the hell is Corey Goode the way he is? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I made a video some time ago where I'm like, look, Corey Goode was the geek in school that nobody wanted to hang around with, and he wanted to become famous, and he wanted to whatever, so that way he can show off or whatever. He got his way. Now he's but he was always an asshole. Like, nobody liked him because he was probably an asshole back then as well. As a matter of fact, I think the woman who went to school with him even said that Corey Goode was an asshole in school. So again, I got a lot of respect. I got a lot of respect for Laura Eisenhower, even if, whether I agree or disagree with her story, whether I as far as herself, right? Whether I agree or disagree with her story, whether or not I agree or disagree with her viewpoints on a lot of on things. I have a lot of respect for her, but the fact is the fact that she still feels sorry for Corey Goode. The fact that she still feels sorry for Corey Goode because he went through he never went through my labs. He never experienced that. I've met a lot of people that they claim they were part of the Montauk Project. I've met plenty of people that claim that they were in my labs and whatever, when in all reality they never did. You have to question everything. I've said it myself, as a contactee, and I've seen a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit, but I'm still very skeptical. I'm still very skeptical of my own experiences. I'm not just going to believe my own experiences right away. I'm going to question everything. I'm going to try to go to the truth. And if nothing else explains what I could have gone through, then that's when I'll believe something weird happened. We have all these facts that Corey Goode never went through the My Labs. We have all these facts that he never been through a 20 and back and whatever. And she's still feeling sorry for Corey Goode. You can't feel sorry for a narcissistic person like that. What is narcissistic? Yeah. A narcissistic person like Corey Goode. You cannot feel sorry for them. At one point, you can feel sorry for them because you're trying to have compassion and whatever. But once they get to a certain point where they are not redeemable, you can't feel sorry for them. This community has already suffered because of people like Corey Goode and David Wilcock and their lies and their bullshit. You can't feel sorry for them. You can't. The funny thing is that John DeSouza, he made two comments. He made two comments because Laura Eisenhower was mentioning an email conversation that she had with Corey, where Corey supposedly said, "I love you," and then she said, "I love you too," or whatever. And I did a screenshot and I just blocked out everything except for what John DeSouza wrote. John DeSouza, and by the way, I've always said it before, I have a lot of respect for John DeSouza. I have a lot of respect for John DeSouza. Whether or not I agree with things that he says doesn't matter. I have a lot of respect for him and the work that he does. And he says, "Laura, that apology to Corey where you and he told each other I love you and I love you too was a conversation to Liz Laurie." And then somebody made a comment on that and how it was fucked up. And then John says, "Laura still doesn't know that." So Liz Laurie, who was the first person being interviewed, who's the one that sent the cease and desist letters to everybody that got one, was also covering for Corey Goode's ass when Laura Eisenhower had an issue. Is that a redeemable quality in Liz Lori? Hell to the fucking no. Now here's the question. Here's the question that, and I'm going to ask this with all due respect to Mr. John DeSouza. Again, I respect his work. I honor him as a human being. Actually, we're Facebook friends, and I've had a couple of DM exchanges with him. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for John DeSouza. So I'm saying this with all due respect to Mr. John DeSouza. Mr. John DeSouza, how long have you known this information? How long have you known this information that it was not Corey Goode that had the email exchange with Laura, but it was Liz Lori? How long did you know this? And why didn't you say anything earlier to Laura Eisenhower? Or did you try to say something to Laura Eisenhower, but there's miscommunication of some sorts? That's the only question I'm going to ask. And again, I ask that with all due respect to you, sir. Like I said, I respect you. I respect the work that you do. I respect everything about you, sir. Now, with Laura Eisenhower, on top of her experiences, with all of this stuff, when she had her husband, they what was it, in one of the dimensions of disclosure? Here comes Corey Goode, and I apologize for the interruptions. Here comes Corey Goode, paranoid as fuck. And he hires one of his bodyguards or whatever, his security, to basically befriend Laura Eisenhower's husband. They go, they have a couple of drinks, and Laura Eisenhower's husband, I believe his name was Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kevin lets his guard down, says a couple of things about Corey Goode to this person, and it turns out that this person was spying for Corey Goode to spy. So, because Corey Goode is a paranoid piece of shit. Now, I'm not gonna blame any kind of PTSD. I'm not gonna blame it on any kind of PTSD. I'm not gonna blame it on any kind of my lab shit, whatever. I'm gonna say that Corey Goode is paranoid as fuck because he knows he's a lying sack of shit. And I say it like that. He knows he's a lying sack of shit, and anybody that's really paying attention to him knows that he's a lying sack of shit. And he couldn't let that get out. He couldn't let the fact that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's lying 24/7. And he could not let that escape. He cannot let that information escape. Now, as far as the situation between Laura Eisenhower, David Wilcock, that's between them. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at the time. I'm not going to make a comment about it. So if Laura Eisenhower felt that she needed to apologize, okay, whatever. Again, I have a lot of respect for Laura Eisenhower. You could tell she's a very caring person. Here's the only issue with Laura Eisenhower that I have is that she's very naive. She's very, very naive. And even when certain evidence is right in front of her, she still wants to give the benefit of the doubt. Now, obviously, Laura Eisenhower didn't do anything to hurt anybody or anything, so I'm not gonna, I'm not one of these. I'm not gonna be expecting her to apologize to the community because she didn't do anything. Let's be real. But certain things which have been mentioned, and I mean, okay, like Dr. Michael Salla, promoting Michael Salla. Okay, yes, Michael Salla may be a good person, but Michael Salla is still drinking the Corey Goode Kool-Aid. And still promoting Corey Goode. So on a business aspect and on a personal aspect, I would, if I knew Dr. Michael Salla, and if I knew him personally, and knowing that Corey Goode is full of shit, I would tell Michael Salla, I'll say, hey, buddy, you gotta stop promoting Corey Goode. So I would have been more proactive in telling Dr. Michael Salla that he has to stop promoting Corey Goode. Because Corey Goode's full of shit. And Corey Goode is gonna bring this community down. So we need to stop promoting Corey Goode. That's what I would have done. I would have been more proactive in that. I don't know Dr. Michael Salla. I'm sure he is a nice guy. All I'm saying is that I would have been more proactive in telling Dr. Michael Salla, hey, look, buddy, you gotta stop promoting Corey Goode. That's where I would have taken it. Now, I don't know Laura Eisenhower personally. We're not drinking buddies. We're not best friends. We're not even Facebook friends. But so I can't make any personal comments on certain things because I don't fucking know. I'm not in contact with her. Maybe it may, like I'll follow her on Facebook, and every once in a while she'll post something. I make a comment and she'll respond, type of thing. But I'm not friends with her. I can't make any more comments other than what I am making because I don't know. I honestly don't know. And if we were Facebook friends and we were in contact with each other, I would have told her all of this a long time ago. And I would have tried to help her realize, look, we need to get people to stop promoting Corey Goode or this or that or the other because this is about this, your safety, their safety, so on and stuff like that. Again, I'm not, and I'm sure Laura Eisenhower, with trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, she'll defend her position, not even comment on it, not even really address it. I'm sure she probably will not address it. I'm just going off of other people's, my friend Natasha, right, her testimony and other testimonies that I've heard. And I'm not going to name those people because they're not public figures. But like I said, like Natasha's testimony, when she contacted Laura Eisenhower about Michael Salla and this and that, and I'm sure she would have, not even addressed it. Because in her own naive state of mind and what have you, she wants to keep the peace. But regardless of all that, I still have respect for her. I still have a lot of love for her. I have respect for her work and everything that she does. Whether or not I agree with things, her what she does and what she tells us about her own life and whatever, it doesn't matter. But the fact that if I knew her personally, I would have reached out to her as well, like many other people have reached out to her. and say, hey, look, this needs to be changed. This needs to stop. You gotta. Now, whether or not she chooses to address that, that's on her. Whether or not Laura Eisenhower chooses to address that, that's on her. And she has to realize and understand that just because somebody is bringing something up, okay? Just because somebody is bringing something up, it's not an attack on her. It's not an attack on her. It's just bringing out information. One of the things that I've noticed about Laura Eisenhower, and I'm sure everybody sees it, she's so jumpy. She's so jumpy and even when she's interviewing people, it's like she's so jumpy. I don't know if it's because ADD, PTSD, or whatever. But for whatever reason, her own personal reason, whether it is PTSD, whether she's so jumpy. So I can understand why she might feel like she's always on the defensive. That people are always Laura, you have to understand, my dear, that just because somebody's trying to communicate with you about a certain situation, they're not attacking you personally. They're just giving you information. They just want to know what's up. They're not attacking you. Like me personally, if I knew you personally and I was in contact with you personally, if I would tell you something, if we were friends, I would tell you something. It's not an attack on you. Because if I didn't come to you with my concerns, if I didn't come to you with my concerns, I wouldn't be a good friend. It would be the same. It's the same thing with you and Dr. Salla. If you did not go to Dr. Salla and talk about your concerns about his promoting of Corey Goode and whatever, you're not being a good friend. That's really it, to be honest with you. That's really it altogether. Again, I'm sorry for all these notifications and interruptions. I'm trying to... but that's really it. Think about it. You really have to think about it. You really have to think about it. We should never be afraid to ask the questions. We should never be afraid to ask the questions. We should never be afraid to really question everything on the validity and whatever. Again, one of the things that on this other channel that's kind of disturbing in a way is the fact that they're not questioning the validity of Corey Goode's testimony and whatever. In my opinion, everything has to come into question. Not just his business practices, not just the lawsuits, but also his story. Seriously, he's the alien messiah. He's the messiah for the blue avians and the Anshar and whatever. Again, if the blue avians exist, why would they pick Corey Goode? If the Anshars are real, why would they pick Corey Goode? I think history, whether it is in mythology, religious scriptures, or anything, right, in the paranormal related to the community and whatever, I think it is shown that many people are chosen to deliver messages. In Christianity, there was only one person that was in Christianity. There's only one person that is the Messiah, and that is Jesus Christ. Jesus the Christ. But as far as messengers, in Christianity, there are many messengers. In Buddhism, other than the Buddha himself, but you have the Dalai, throughout the years, the Dalai Lamas and the Buddhist priests and all that. These are messengers. The fact that Corey Goode is saying that he's the modern day Enoch, and this is the way he does his bullshit, you have to bring into question on whether or not he is full of shit and he is a liar. Alright, y'all, that's about it for today. So until next time, just remember, I'm Sway. I love you all. Peace.
It's just my opinion.